Hi everyone, in this video I am going to discuss about dielectrics. So what are dielectrics? So a dielectric is an insulating material in which all the electrons are tightly bound to the nuclei of the atoms. So you can say the electrons, the material where the electrons are tightly bound to the nucleus, those are dielectrics. Example, glass, plastics, etc. So, a dielectric substance, it is seen that when you place a dielectric substance in an external electric field, it is seen that all the negative charges arrange in one side and the positive charges arrange in the other side, and thus another electric field is created inside, that is E induced. Since you can see the negative charges arrange themselves in this side because electric field is in this direction. So obviously negative charges will be induced in this side and positive charges gets induced in this side. So inside the material another electric field is created which is known as E induced. So the net electric field can be written as E minus EI. Okay, but in a conductor what happens? When you place a conductor in an electric field, all the negative charges and positive charges align in this manner, and again another E induced is created. But here the electric field, the induced electric field is equal and opposite to the external field, and hence the net electric field becomes 0. Okay, but in dielectrics we get a net electric field which is less than the external electric field. But here as you know, the conductors has free charges, free electrons. But here there are no free carriers. So here the free carriers, that is the electrons, rearrange themselves, and at the end we get net electric field equals to 0. Now these dielectrics are of two types. One is polar dielectrics and the other is non-polar dielectrics. Let me erase this portion. So one is polar dielectric and the other is non-polar dielectrics. Examples of polar dielectrics are HCl, CH3, CO, etc. Here H2, CH4, etc. Or we can write here CH3OH, that would be better. Okay, so here we see two examples, polar dielectrics and non-polar dielectrics. So polar dielectrics are the dielectrics made of polar molecules. So we have already learned about polar molecules, the molecules which have a net dipole moment where the positive and negative centers are at a distance from each other and thus create a dipole moment. And here the positive and negative centers of the atoms coincide. That is, they do not have a dipole moment. So these are polar and non-polar dielectrics. Now we will see that how these dielectrics behave in the effect of an external electric field. Now we will see what is polarization of dielectrics. Now this polar and non-polar dielectrics develop a net dipole moment when placed in an external electric field, and this phenomenon is only known as polarization. That is, suppose you have a polar dielectric. This is a polar dielectric. So in a polar dielectric, what happens is that the molecules are randomly oriented. So in this manner, the molecules are randomly oriented. So even after having individual dipole moments, what happens is that the net dipole moment is zero, because the dipole moment of each one of them cancels out each other, and so net P becomes zero. But when you place them, so this is a positively charged plate of a capacitor, negatively charged plate. So now suppose you keep the dielectric here in between two charged plates, and you supply an external electric field E. Then what happens is that the dipoles arrange themselves in a manner so that you can see here the negative part of each molecule points towards the positive side, and the positive part of each molecule points towards the negative plate. So in this direction they orient themselves. That is, they align themselves with the direction of the field. And thus, what happens is that we get a net dipole moment. That is, a net dipole moment. The dipole moment does not become zero, and we get a net dipole moment. Okay, when you place in an external electric field. Now, when you will put these molecules in an external electric field, inside one electric field will develop. Inside one electric field will develop, that will be E induced, and E net will be E minus EI. Okay, and E net will be in this direction only. So E net will be E minus EI, since EI will be in this direction. Okay, so this is how the polar dielectrics behave. Now if you see the behavior of non-polar dielectrics, so non-polar dielectrics, what happens in a non-polar dielectric? So in a non-polar dielectric, the positive and negative centers of the molecules coincide, so they do not have any dipole moment. Okay, they do not have any dipole moment because they coincide, the positive and negative centers of each molecule coincide. And we know dipole moment exists when the positive and negative charges are separated by a distance. But here you see the charges are coinciding, positive and negative centers. So what happens is that when you place them in an external electric field, positive plate, negative plate, so again what happens, the positive and negative centers, when you place the molecules, they orient, like this was the positive and negative center, here E was 0, external field. Now when you put it in an external field, the positive and negative centers separate. Okay, here you see the positive and negative centers were coinciding, but here it separates and we get an induced dipole moment. And this then orient themselves in the direction of the field. And again we take an external electric field. Here also negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. And again an induced dipole moment is formed in this side from the positive towards the negative side. Electric field is always from the positive to the negative side. So here E net, which is this side, E net will be E minus EI. So this is how the polar and non-polar dielectrics develop dipole moment in the presence of an external electric field. In case of polar dielectrics, the net dipole moment is zero at first because the molecules are randomly oriented, so the individual dipole moments get cancelled and we are left behind with zero dipole moment. But when you keep them in an external electric field, supply an external electric field, they orient themselves and overall we get a total electric dipole moment. And in case of non-polar dielectrics, the molecule itself do not have any dipole moment individually because their centers coincide. When you keep them in an electric field, the positive and negative centers separate and then they orient themselves in the presence of this electric field. Now, the extent to which a dielectric is polarized is denoted by a term P, which is known as polarization density. It is the dipole moment per unit volume of the dielectric. Okay, it is the dipole moment of the dielectric. This is capital P and this is small p, that is dipole moment divided by the volume of the dielectric. Dipole moment and V volume of the dielectric. Okay, so this is how it is written. So if you want to further reduce it, so dipole moment is given by, suppose, Q into distance or length. We can say if this length is D, so Q into L, suppose length, and V is again area into length, so we get Q by A, that is equal to sigma, that is surface charge density. Here we put a P because it is surface charge density. So this is your capital P. Now another thing, now if your electric field is not too large, if E is not too large, then P is proportional to the electric field and we get a term like this when you remove the proportionality sign. Hence, this is known as chi, and in physics it is known as susceptibility. So susceptibility, electric susceptibility is the ratio of the polarization density to epsilon naught times the electric field. Okay. Now, what about the dielectric constant? Since here we have taken a dielectric, there also exists a dielectric constant. Dielectric constant, which is given as K, Now K is the ratio of the external electric field by the net electric field. Okay, so E is the ratio of external electric field and the resultant electric field. Okay, so this is how a dielectric constant can be represented, and the relation between chi or electric susceptibility and dielectric constant is given by this formula. This is the relation between these two terms. Okay, there is another term known as dielectric strength. So what is dielectric strength? Dielectric strength so it is the maximum value of the electric field that it can tolerate without its electrical breakdown. That means the electric field can only have certain value. If it exceeds that, then what will happen? The dielectric property of the dielectric substance will be lost. It won't be there anymore. And what will happen? The electrons will come out of the atoms and they will behave as conductors. Okay, so the dielectric properties of the dielectric substances will be lost at a certain value of electric field. Means if the electric field exceeds, that is, becomes greater than a certain value of external electric field. So we have to maintain a certain electric field so that it does not become a conductor. So, and dielectric strength is given, means it is measured in volt per meter. Okay. So every material has a dielectric strength. So for vacuum it is infinity. Okay. But dielectric constant for vacuum is 1. But dielectric strength is infinity. Okay. Every material has a particular value of dielectric strength. Like for water it is 81. And dielectric strength is, let us see for air. For air, K is 1.00054 and its dielectric strength is 0.8. It is kV millimeter inverse. It is kilovolt millimeter inverse. Okay. What is the dielectric constant for water? For conductor. So always remember this value. The dielectric constant for a conductor is infinity. So that's all for today. In the next video we will be discussing about parallel plate capacitor with dielectric and without dielectric slab in between the conducting plates. I hope you all have understood, and do comment if you have not understood any part. So keep learning and utilize the best of your time. And that's all for today. Thank you.